UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi just finished wrapping up, and I wanted to talk about the card a little bit, mostly the main event, but overall the card didn't really live up to expectations like what we thought it would, but it was a mid card, and there was some good fights on here, and the one fight that I really want to talk about is the main event. So let's talk about it. Reina de Ritter beats Robert Whittaker by split decision. I thought it should have been a unanimous decision. One judge had it to Whittaker. I don't know how. I thought Reina de Ritter won rounds 2, 4, and 5. Whittaker won 3, the first round and the third. But overall, Reina de Ritter's wobbly, cobbly, mobbly, Willy Wonka-esque plot armor style. I don't even know how to describe it because it's sloppier than DDP's. Like, DDP is way more technical than Reina de Ritter, but de Ritter gets it done. Like, he gets the job done with his weird style and his looping hooks and his knees. Those are some of the most amazing knees I've ever seen, bro. That man was knee spamming, and every single time they would land. I don't think there was one that kind of missed or was like, off the mark. Like, every single one landed. And de Ritter's game plan was to take this to the ground, obviously. He even said it in the post-fight interview. When Bisping asked him, he said, hey, I thought I was going to go out there and submit Robert Whittaker. But Whittaker, he's a tough guy, and he has really good takedown defense. But Reina de Ritter, he's just so weird with his Willy Wonka plot armor style. Like, it works for him. And in this fight, he did what he needed to do, was use his physicality. The man is huge, no diddy, for the division. He looked super tall out there. He goes out there and he tries to break his opponents down, like how he did to Bo Nickel, and he tries to just make you play his game of just like, all right, we're gonna gas each other. Like, he's just really weird, bro. Like, you can't go into a Reina de Ritter fight and predict how he's gonna win because his style is just too funky. But overall, it was still a good and fun matchup. I think Reina de Ritter, he's not gonna be like champ or anything. I'm gonna be real. He's not gonna be champ. I see like Borjalio or Amava for DDP or Khamzat. They're like a lot more technical and cleaner. But then again, you can't even predict that. You can't predict how that fight will go because de Ritter is just so weird that he might go out there and just beat him, and we might not even know. It's the same thing that happened with DDP coming up. Like, we would say, oh, DDP's gonna lose because of like he's open on the feet or he's just really sloppy, and then he's champ. So there's no real, we can't even predict how Reina de Ritter's gonna go out there and beat some of these guys. Like Whittaker, like it was like the first time we saw Reina de Ritter against GM3. We had never seen that style before. We just like thought he was just really sloppy and his striking wasn't really that good. And we compared him a lot to DDP. Because DDP was like the one guy we can compare him to. Against Kevin Holland, he looked a lot cleaner. He took Kevin Holland to the ground, submit him. Bo Nickel, he made it dirty, and he just used his knees really good, beat the body up of Bo. And coming into this Whittaker fight, I knew Reina de Ritter was gonna win. We just didn't know how he was gonna win. I thought he was gonna be able to finish Whittaker, but Whittaker's just, he's good at he almost finished him, but Whittaker dropped Reina de Ritter in the third round. Reina de Ritter threw that knee again that was landing perfectly, but Whittaker timed the overhand right perfectly and dropped him. His physicality is what wins him some of these fights, man. And he went out there and he just brawled his way to a win against Whittaker. I do gotta say one thing. Israel Adesanya's title reign, bro, that thing is looking dookie every single time, bro. Like, look at Vittori, look at Costa. Not too much on Whittaker, but Whittaker hasn't been winning recently. And it's just like Israel Adesanya's title reign is looking dookie. And I think Reina de Ritter's next fight is gonna be against Israel Adesanya, especially after the Sean Strickland suspension. And you can say Israel Adesanya has a chance of knocking this guy out, but De Ritter's grappling is just really good. He's just, I don't know, his style, his Willy Wonka-esque style is what wins him these fights, man. And you can't really predict him to lose. Well, you can, but you just don't know how he's gonna lose. Could he lose to an overhand right? Maybe. He almost did, but I don't know, man. I do like watching Reinier de Ritter's fights, though. They're super fun. Watching his sloppy style like that, I don't know, it's just way more fun than a regular technical fight sometimes. And he did really good against Whittaker, even on the feet. He landed his jab. He busted up Whittaker's nose. He would land those weird looping hooks that, you know, he would go down to like you know, fake a takedown and throw his little hook. He's fun to watch. I like watching Reinier de Ritter and his Willy Wonka plot armor. He's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC right now. And he's not going to be champ, but he is going to be far. He's going to go far. He's going to be ranked in the top 5 on Tuesday, man. So let's see what the UFC throws out. Reinier de Ritter. Great fight overall. I love this fight. But let's move on. We have Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee. Petr Yan, we saw a little bit of vintage Petr Yan. Petr Yan, he went out there and he got a lot of sweeps on McGee. He did start off slow in the first round. McGee was out there tagging him a little bit, but Yan had the, you know, the better shots. In the second round, Yan started to cook up a little bit more, and in the third round, McGee was just stuck in the clinch position where he had his back towards Yan and he didn't know how to like spin out of it, and lost him the fight. It was 1-1 going into the third round, and Yan did what he needed to do. I do gotta say though, Yan looked a lot stiffer. He looked a lot older. Like, you can just tell in his fighting style that he just wasn't like, quick, like, you know, like like, you know how Yan is with the striking. But he still went out there and won, which is what we wanted. And he's gonna get the next title shot for sure against whoever wins against Merab and Sandhagen. I know Merab. We all know Merab's gonna win, dog. Like, there ain't no way. Like, Merab's gonna go out here and beat everybody until he fights Pantoja. I don't know when he's fighting Pantoja next, but they got to make that Pantoja fight. But it was great to see Petr Yan get a win. I really wanted him to win, and it was really fun watching him, you know, look a little vintage out there and, you know, look clean on the feet. Great win by Petr Yan. We move on. Chara Bullet versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I do gotta say one thing. Chara Bullet is trash. He's trash. He's trash. He's not, I'm not saying he's trash, but like, he's not what they market him to be. Like, oh, this guy's gonna be champ or whatever. But he did get hit with a couple good shots from Barriault, Marc-Andre Barriault. Barriault hit him with a nice elbow or whatever that was that busted up the nose of Chara Bullet and had his ginger beard looking even more red. Chara does have good kicks though, and I was looking at the thigh of Marc-Andre, and man, that thing was bruised up pretty bad. And Chara Bullet, his next fight, I think it should be against Paulo Costa. That would be a fun fight to watch. I think Chara Bullet against a really good wrestler, I think he'd lose that fight. I don't know. I don't really like Chara Bullet like that. You know, they hyped him up a lot, and, you know, he was supposed to be champ or whatever, and MVP went out there and just beat him. But Chara Bullet did okay in this fight. It was a fun scrap, though. It was a fun scrap. You know, both guys bloodied up. He landed some good elbows to Barriault and cut him up on this, you know, on his head, on his skull. Overall, fun fight. It was, you know, nothing crazy though. We move on. We move on to Asuel Lombaya versus Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa stepped in on short notice. He didn't look bad out there, but Asuel Lombaya spamming the takedowns, dude. He knew he needed to win on the ground, and he did. Ochoa does have a little bit of, you know, good takedown defense, but I don't know. Asuel Lombaya, he just, I liked him when he was coming up, but now that he's ranked, he lost to Manel Cap. I don't know, dude. He's not fun. Like, I don't know. I thought in the beginning he was fun, and now he's not really like that fun. I really wish Tamirov was like didn't get hurt or anything. This would have been a fun fight, and I think Tamirov would have beat Asorlambayev. Tamirov is really strong on the feet, and I think he would have knocked out Asorlambayev. But overall, Asorlambayev beat Jose Ochoa on short notice. I knew that was gonna happen. I picked Asorlambayev to win, but it wasn't a really exciting fight. But we move on. Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Gustaf. But Nikita Krylov is just too wild. He's just too wild, and he steps in and he throws, and he just leaves himself open, and Gustaf literally just lands that nasty straight that knocks Nikita Krylov to the ground. Ground and pound punches ended the fight. It was a really quick first round finish for Bogdan Gustaf, and I love the little celebration he had with Walter Walker. The little, little Asian boy, that little celebration that's going on now. But evil Anthony Smith did what he needed to do, knocked out Nikita Krylov. I think Nikita Krylov is like done. I don't know when he's fighting next, but I don't think he's gonna win anytime soon. Let's go to the prelims now. Bryce Mitchell versus Said Nurmagomedov. Bryce Mitchell lost that first round. He got dropped by Said Nurmagomedov. But then next 2 rounds, he went out there and out grappled Said Nurmagomedov. Basically, was a wet blanket in the second and third rounds. He did what he needed to do. Well, he did what he needed to do was to win, and was in the grappling. And I wanted a Bryce Mitchell win anyways. So great win by Bryce Mitchell. Said Nurmagomedov, he's not that good. Let's be honest, he's not that good. But we move on. This one was crazy. When this knockout happened, I literally stood up out of my chair. But Muslim Salikov versus Carlos Leal. I did not expect Carlos Leal to just leave himself wide open like that, and Muslim Salikov lands that overhand and drops Carlos Leal, and Salikov just walk-offs, like a walk-off KO that looked so nasty. I was just there like, what the heck did I just see? We all thought Carlos Leal was going to go out there and destroy Muslim Salikov, and Muslim Salikov, the Unks were on a tear today, bro. Unks were on a tear, man, in this fight card, and Muslim Salikov looked good. I have to say he looked good because he knocked him out, and I thought Carlos Leal was going to knock him out, but great win by Muslim Salikov. He calls out Wonder Boy. I'm not trying to see Wonder Boy against Muslim Salikov. I'm sorry. Throw this Unk against another young guy so we can see a crazy knockout like this. But great win by Muslim Salikov. We move on to the next Unk. Another Unk that won. Davy Grant versus Damon Blackshear. I thought Damon Blackshear was going to go out here and win, but the dude gassed himself out in the first round trying to submit Davy Grant. And when Damon Blackshear gasses himself out, he's in deep crap, because his striking is really not that good, and it showed today when a 39-year-old, almost 40-year-old Davy Grant literally was out-striking you on the feet, out-kicking you on the feet, and Blackshear had nothing for him. And Blackshear tried to get takedowns, but Davy Grant has amazing takedown defense at 39 years old. Yo, give it up to the Unk, man. Unk was doing his thing out there, styling on Blackshear a little bit too. It was fun to see the Unks win. It's the year of the Unks, man. 2025 has been the year of the Unks. Look at Volkanovski. Come on, bro. The Unks are out here destroying these little kids, turning back the clock. Davy Grant should have been ranked a long time ago. I thought he got robbed against Adrian Yanez and a whole bunch of other fights, bro. But I'm glad at 39 years old, Davy Grant is still doing it out here, bro. It's fun. I love watching Davy Grant fight because he's good at what he does. He's good at, the kicks and the jabs and, takedown defense. He's just good. I like Davy Grant watching. I love watching Unk fight. But we move on. Tabitha Ricci versus Amanda Ribas. I think I was half asleep, but I woke up just in time to seeing Tabitha Ricci land an elbow into Amanda Ribas's eye, and Ribas crumbles, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I thought Rebus was gonna win this fight, but then in the back of my head I was like, Ricci could win by robbery because they've been giving her wins and they trying to get her to the top because of Caleb Walsh. I don't know why the UFC is promoting Caleb Walsh so much, but Ricci gets the win. Ricci gets the win. Baby Shark looks bad doing it. You know, this was a little gooner fight, but I was like half asleep. I was like, bro, I need a nap, dog. And yeah, Ricci wins by a pretty good KO in a women's fight. Not gonna lie to you. We move on. Ibon Aslam versus Billy Alakana. This fight was doggy, doodle, caca, water, whatever you want to call it. This looked like a sparring match out there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Ibo Aslam was gonna go out there and take risk and knock this guy out, but he didn't. Good win by Billy Alakana. I really did not care for this fight. I cared more about this fight right here. Muhammad Yahya versus Steven Nguyen. What? Yo, at least give these guys a bonus, Dana White. Because Muhammad Yahya got dropped like 12 times, bro. And he still was out here swinging with Steven Nguyen. And he even dropped him in the second round too, which was crazy. But we all knew Muhammad Yahya was going to lose. This man was getting dropped multiple times. It was just like, you know, his chin is amazing though. Muhammad Yahya's chin is amazing. They could have gone 3 rounds, but Yahya's eye was literally about to explode, son. Like, that thing was literally about to like just pop, like a monster was coming out of his face. That was nasty. Herzog should have stopped this fight a lot more earlier, but I can't even say great win by Steven Nguyen because he didn't finish Muhammad Yahya, but he did go out there and demolish him. But whatever, I'll say good win by Steven Nguyen. Muhammad Yahya, yeah, you need to get cut, bro. I know that, you know, every time we go to Abu Dhabi, you fighting out here, brother, but you've lost literally all your fights in the UFC, bro. I don't even know why you're still fighting, but crazy fight. Last fight we're gonna talk about: Martin Buday versus Marcus Bechechkia. I thought Bechechkia was gonna go out there and submit Martin Buday, but he gassed himself out. And Buday, and I don't know why, I don't know what Bechechkia thought in the 3rd round, dude, about just, I don't know, he lost position. I don't know. I was mad that Bechechkia lost. They gassed this man up. Oh man, this guy's won so many jiu-jitsu tournaments, and Martin Buday, a blob, just went out there and blobbed his way to a win. One's round 1 and 3. But overall, the card was mid, and it was kind of because it was like a win-loss. I mean, it was kind of like a finish decision like pattern in the prelims until we got to the main card that it was just straight decisions. But overall, fight of the night, either Muhammad Yahya versus Steven Nguyen or Shara Bullet versus Mark Andre, or you can just give it to Robert Whittaker versus Rainer de Ritter. Performance bonuses, give it to I'm not gonna even say Rainer de Ritter because he didn't finish him. Give it to Bogdan. Give it to Muslim Salikov. And Tabitha Ricci. Those two, yeah. Those 3. Give them the performance bonuses. Overall, pretty mid card. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm GNFs MMA. Like and subscribe. I'm out.